Hi everyone, this is Lisa. Welcome back to my kitchen. So I was inspired last week when eating with a friend because there was no dairy-free gravy in the restaurant, so I kind of started looking for a recipe, and I found this one from Mama Knows Gluten Free. And for those of you low carbers, because I am going to post this on some of those sites, there's 3.55 grams. So it's not too bad, but it would be depending on your carb load that day as to whether this would work for you or not. Um, but I thought I'd just throw it in because I thought it was a good bonus. And it is fairly low carb. It doesn't have like all the flour and, all that stuff. So it's really good. And so the first one, you can use butter. If you can do dairy, I am using Smart Balance because I don't. Yeah, it'd be good if I showed you the label. There we go. And we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of butter or whatever you're using, Smart Balance in my case. So anyway, I'm going to try to keep you entertained. I have been doing low carb for a long time. I've gone somewhat, I find the low carb is a lot similar to anti-inflammatory, so I kind of use some of that too, but this, and then of course dairy free because, dairy's so awesome. But anyway, put in the comments if you're dairy free and how long. Let's see, let's get the right burner here. Okay, I'm going to use a fairly low heat to start off with, and then just kind of go from there. In this case, I'm going to be using some beef broth. This is a gluten-free recipe, as I said, or also, so those of you who don't like gluten, just tune in. So, how long have you been on your special diets? If you could put that in the comments and hit like and, share with anybody that might want to see this, that would be great. So I'm getting lost in this recipe, which is probably where I should. How's everybody's week going? I have been having a pretty good week. I actually finished up a very rough draft on a manuscript that I'm doing for a children's book, and I think I have found an illustrator, so that has been wonderful. I've met a new friend this morning. My dog helped me do it. Dogs are awesome for doing that. I have lost some weight, gained a little bit back over the holidays though, so just as a reminder, just because you lose it doesn't mean you don't have to stay vigilant, because you do. So I check in on my weight more, and I'm like, okay, I think after my birthday, which is coming up real soon, I'm going to set a time to just, get back on the patches, which are about an inch, and I wear them. I think I've got a half a one somewhere here. And they give me nutrition, and that helps a lot when I'm on, okay, that's half of one. I think that's CBD or something like that. But there's a 2-patch system that I've worn for weight loss and also for collagen for like stomach issues and stuff like that. It has a lot more, it does a lot more, but anyway, we can talk about that later. If you want to know more information, by the way, just ask me. So the next step here is to add the broth to the pan and stir until combined. So we're going to do 2 cups. If you are gluten-free and you're really picky about it, make sure it's gluten-free. Watch your own stuff. But there we go. All right. So as I was saying, nutrition, when you get it in your body, a lot of times when you're restricted, you don't end up getting all the vitamins, and your body can end up needing some things that, you're just not able to get, like, maybe through dairy or whatever. So if you get a good nutritional supplement, or in my case, it's a patch, I've noticed difference. I never used to notice any difference before, or if I did, it was barely. This has been a lot different. But regardless, when you're on a restricted diet, sometimes you don't get everything. So if you're getting a good nutrition through the skin, for me, I find it a lot easier for my body to operate, mentally feeling better, physically feeling better. So, there's a lot to it. If you make I like to think of the body as a machine. And if you don't have everything running right in that machine, it's not going to perform well. And so that is, yeah, I just made a mess. Awesome. Okay. Um, so it really is helpful when everything is running well, like any machine goes better. Um, and I do feel pretty good. And I'm not going to tell you what number birthday it is because I'm feeling a little old at the moment. Okay, now the next step is to add the cornstarch and the water in a small bowl. So, we have 3 tablespoons of water. And I'm not going to clean this spoon off because I don't think it makes a bit of difference. Okay, and then the cornstarch is going to be 3 tablespoons. For that, I am going to get a clean spoon. And I just bought this. I didn't think on low carb I would be doing a lot with cornstarch, so I hadn't bought cornstarch in a while. And I was trying to find a small version of it, but the store I had just came in the big version. But you can use it. It doesn't matter. I mean, anyway, so we're going to add 3 tablespoons to that, and you're going to mix it up into a slurry mixture according to the recipe. Let's see how. Whoops, wrong water. 2, 3. Now there's going to be some salt and pepper and thyme involved here in a minute. Then you're just going to whisk it. Yeah, sometimes that goes better than others. I guess I should hold that up to the camera for you. All right, so we're going to get that. I can tell that's not still quite mixed in. Sometimes you have to fight with those powders just a little bit so that they'll dissolve. Okay, and so we've got, okay, the broth to the, okay, once butter is melted, add the broth to the pan, add cornstarch and water to a small bowl, whisk until it is smooth, and make a slurry. Add the cornstarch to the broth, stirring constantly with a whisk, bringing to a boil. Okay. I don't know that I would have called that a slurry, but sure does make an awesome color change, doesn't it? And then, because I don't want to scratch my pans, you've got to whisk this constantly into a boil. So I think I'm now going to turn up the heat just a little bit. So we will get this done. I used to love gravy as a kid, and I kind of have missed it. That's one of the things when you go diet restricted. But a lot of times I found you find what you're looking for, or some of you who are really talented with it, you can sit around and experiment with things, and make the things you want. I often do that with crafts and stuff. I'll get an idea in my head and I'll just put 2 or 3 things together. You can do that with food too. I've done it a lot. I've modified. Last week I did a hot pepper jelly, and I had missed, that was one of the foods I had missed, and I found there was a way to do it, and I will get it on the maker's directions soon. So the makersdirections.com is something that I came up with because I believe that with the health business I was doing, and I still really believe in that, but there's a lot that goes to your head. And if you're not ready in your head to get something done, I don't care what it is, it really doesn't happen. That's why a lot of New Year's goals and stuff don't happen. They're like, whatever. But when you really have motivation to do something, some people have had serious health concerns like a heart attack, and all of a sudden they'll come home and they're like, I'm not eating this anymore, I'm not going to do this anymore. They are motivated. That was enough to teach them. A bad health issue, boy, or someone who smoked once, they had a hard time quitting, and that is a hard one to quit, but their child came down, had asthma and breathing issues, and that was enough to stop them. I don't know what your motivation is. I know mine is if I get to a certain point on that scale anymore, it's like, this is going, because I know what I used to look like. I know I didn't like it. I know I wasn't happy with it. So just be healthy, but you've got to get it in your head, and if you have the cooperation of God, and it's going to just be a whole lot more helpful to you. So he has left us with a lot of things to keep us healthy because he wants us that way. Healthy usually means happier. So not always, it's not a guarantee. I mean, you do have to work on your emotional health too. But I found a lot of times when I am not happy when I'm heavy. And so I would like to be happy. So therefore I need to keep myself in shape. Anyway, I'm supposed to boil this for like 2 minutes, and so I'm trying to be very entertaining while I'm doing that. Didn't say rolling boil, and there is a difference. Okay, bring to a boil for 1 minute. Sorry, it was 1 minute. So I am going to set my timer for 1 minute, because that helps me to be disciplined. How is everyone today, by the way? I meant to ask y'all. I usually say, what's the weather in your area? Or, what's going on with you? What y'all doing this weekend? It's Thursday already. Who has plans? I'm working part of it at the Submarine Museum. But Sunday, I will probably be working on a craft project for a future family member that is due to arrive in the summer. So always got stuff going on. I don't know about you, but I like staying busy. Although that can be a trap too, because you sometimes can stay a little too busy. And I do look forward to traveling sometime this year. I'd like to go up and actually see those family members in person. So we're working on some plans. And I love doing these videos, although I kind of wonder. There we go. Okay, now, then it says to season with salt, pepper, and thyme, which is optional. But I'm going to throw that thyme in because I grow that stuff here, and I did not grow it for it to sit and not do anything. I actually like the fresh thyme. The gravy is starting to thicken up a little bit. So I don't know if you can feel that or see it, but it's definitely getting thicker. And this is a dish, of course, that you would serve warm, but you can microwave it. So I'm going to go ahead and I was going to measure it out, but I don't think you can. The measurements are 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. I say season to taste, but that's me. Okay, so the thyme that up here. And it maybe I needed to wait for a rolling boil. Yeah, it's starting to get even more thick. Yeah, so I think I needed to give it more of a rolling boil. So bring to the rolling boil. And we don't want to over season. That will also add a little bit of color. Ooh, that's thickening up nice. So yeah, bring it to like a bubbly boil. And will be good, and it's coming very nicely, so I don't want it to get too thick. But anyway, there it is, folks. I hope you have an awesome day. Thank you for joining me. If you have any questions, again, please like and share in the comments. And I just enjoy sharing with you, and I hope you enjoy it too. Put enjoy in the comments if you did. Thank you, everybody. Bye bye.